Hey there guys, I'm Hello Japan, and this is something a little different I want to start exclusively here on YouTube because I've been asked many times over, how do you record your games and how do you record your audio and how do you do everything when it comes to Let's Plays or game capture in general? Now, it's a fairly easy process if you know what you're looking for, but that's where, the complications begin. For this particular tutorial video, I'm going to be covering the simplistic areas of PC capture. They're fairly complicated, in-depth things you can get into, but that I'll cover later. If you want me to, just let me know. But for this particular video, I've been asked, how do I capture game video and game audio and whatnot? And first off, I will say most of the programs I'm going to show you will cost money. I don't actually own any that are free. I know of a few that are free. I can't recommend them because I don't actually own them and I don't use them, so I can't give a recommendation for something I don't own. However, these 5 programs right here, these are the main programs I use when it comes to any of my editing and capture. And also with the exception of this guy right here. Let's create a link. Now, this is a case which I will cover in a little bit, but this is a special exception. For now, if it comes to game capture, the first thing I suggest is getting Fraps. Now, Fraps is by far, out of all the programs I've used over the time I've done video capture, is the best program for capturing game, video and audio all in one. And for the most part, it's fairly straightforward. They've changed quite a bit, over the years. Now, this is a legally obtained copy, and it's all my, it's all mine. I bought it. I think it's roughly $40. It's probably something like $37. It's like some weird cost, but this is my copy. But the main thing you want to worry about when you're on Fraps is the video settings. There's frames per second settings, and you can put the frame per second counter wherever you want, whether in any of the 4 corners, or you can hide it if you want. But I don't really care for this too much, just besides it letting me know how quickly the video is running and how many frames it's capturing per second, and that isn't too big of a deal to worry about. I mean, if you have a decent computer, you don't need to worry about it because it's probably not going to change too incredibly much. Just being completely honest here. And also the program has some nice screenshot capabilities. You can capture in BMP, JPEG, PNG, and TGA. Don't know what TGA is, never heard of that. But you can capture in the main file types. And then there's also repeat capture every 10 seconds, so you can have just a big photo album of pictures captured every 10 seconds. But I don't really use the screenshot capability that much either. But the main thing, movies. If you're under the movies section, this is everything you'll need to know about. Now, first off, hotkeys, that's whatever your preference is. I like making mine the number pad just because I've always done that. I mean, you can make it the F11 key, F12 key, whatever. It's all your personal preference, or F1, it doesn't really matter. As long as the key isn't bound to whatever game you're playing, that's the only thing you're going to have to worry about. So that's why I make it the number pad, just because it's fairly easy, and you don't really have to worry about those numbers so much. It's mainly the main home keys that you're using on the game. And then down here with the video capture settings, if you want the best quality, have it set to full size, because full size is the actual resolution. Because if you're playing a game, let's say 1280 by 720, and you say full size, it will capture it at full 1280 by 720. However, if you say half size, the file size will be smaller, but it will cut the dimensions in half. So instead of 1280 by 720, it's whatever half that is. I don't know offhand, because of math. Hang on, let's just calc. 1280 divided by 2, it'll be 640 by 360. So you're losing a significant amount of quality. But if you're not in the if you're not looking for quality, you're just looking for size, hey, go ahead. half size. If you're working with a limited hardware setup, half size is highly recommended. And also if you're recording at 1920 by 1080, and your rig can't support running Fraps and the game at 1080p at the same time, I would recommend using half size, because you can render the video out in 1280 by 720 and it's going to look fine. But other than that, I would recommend almost always using full size. And as for frames per second, I usually just set it to 60 because that's pretty much standard. And I think also 29.79 or it's some weird number is also automatically set there, but I always just make that 60 just because I usually like to set my base at 60. And then loop buffer, I don't really know what that is, so I just leave it at 30 because that's what the default was. Now, this is something interesting. I've always wanted them to include this, where if this is unchecked, it will. This is in the new updated 3.5.6 version of Fraps. It allows you to keep it as one file, but be aware, because it's AVI, those files are enormous. I mean, easily a 10-minute video can run you 17 gigs easy. And that's the only issue I have with Fraps, is that a lot of the file sizes are enormous. They're just gargantuan in size. So that's why, and sometimes if you have a little hiccup in the video encoding, sometimes you can run into issues of, the video not playing through properly, or sometimes when you render it out in whatever program you're using, it doesn't look right, or something doesn't work right, or the audio doesn't match. There's a number of issues you can run into with, having the video as one whole chunk. But also, if you're not recording long videos, this is perfect. If you're recording like 10-minute videos, perfect thing for you. 15, perfect. But once you get into like the half-hour mark, it's like, I would strongly recommend like splitting the movie every 4 gigabytes, because it's just so much easier to work with them. And moving on, sound capture settings, just record Vista 7 XP. Just record the sound in stereo or multi-channel. That's basically personal preference, but as long as this box is checked, it will capture whatever sound the computer itself is making. But if that's not checked, you won't have audio in your video you capture. And then there's also record external input. I actually have this set to off because it is actually a lot easier, I find, to record your audio separately in a program like Audacity, which I'll get to in a minute. But I find it a lot easier to do that because you don't have to manage the audio of the game itself. You can just, edit that afterwards. You can just deal with all that after the fact and record. But the only issue then is syncing issues. Like if you're recording with Audacity and then Fraps, you're going to have to find like a perfect part where the audio and video match. What I normally do for that is I say, like, I have a countdown on an Audacity file, me saying 3, 2, 1, start, and then I'll do something within the game, like I'll jump, or I'll exit out of the pause menu to notify me in the video when I'm actually saying start. So it's kind of like you have to find something that works for you to begin recording, if that makes sense. If you need further clarification with anything that I've mentioned so far, just leave a comment and I'll try and explain the best I can, or I'll make a response video to this and I'll explain things further. And then the last thing down here, these last 3 settings are kind of up to you. Hide mouse cursor in the video. I find that if the mouse cursor is in the video on some games, it's annoying. On others, it just needs to be there, like Fallout. Like if you go into the menu in Fallout, sometimes it won't be there, which is kind of strange. But and then other games like GTA, sometimes it's there, and it's just very strange to see it, and it's just kind of annoying. So I usually just hide it from everything, just because it's it's just easier. And then lock frame rate while recording. I normally leave that unchecked because sometimes I can push your hardware really, really hard, and if that's happening, keep in mind that Fraps is a very processor-intensive program, so if you don't have the greatest processor, locking it here or force lossless capture, that will slow down your rig very, very much. Like, it will slow it down a lot. And perfect segue, force lossless capture. That basically captures exactly what is on your screen. Like, you will not lose any quality at all. But that also means your files will probably be that much larger and that much more intense. I don't know a good way to say it, but It says maybe slower. Most computers, it does run a lot slower when that is checked. So that's Fraps in a nutshell. If you have any other questions about Fraps, let me know. That was really loud. Let me know. I'll leave a comment. Anything. Just let me know if you have any questions about that. So that's Fraps. As for Audacity, I find Audacity to be a very, very, very good program because it's free, and it's just a shareware program that, it's out there right now, and it's actually a very, very good program because you can pretty much do anything that any other higher end program does. It captures, hey, test, test, test. You can see all that stuff going on there. And the reason there's 2 channels here is because I have it on stereo, which you can actually change right here. You can have it for mono, which I used to do, but then I found that stereo was there, so you can set it for stereo, and the quality is, it's a little different. It's nothing too, intense. It's not too big of a difference. Unless you have an ear for it, you won't notice it. But I really don't do too much more besides just capture my audio like this, and then I stop it. I go to File, Export, and that's about it. I really don't do too much with the audio. It's just as easy as that, just saving, capturing capturing it is that's just as much as I do. Now, there is an alternative to Fraps. If you can't run Fraps, there's another program called Camtasia, and that's actually what I'm capturing off of right now. Camtasia is your alternative for games like The Binding of Isaac, or certain games that just can't be captured with Fraps. And the only games Fraps captures they're like OpenGL, DirectX games, games like that, but it does not capture Flash, which a lot of online games are, a lot of Binding of Isaac, a lot of indie games nowadays are Flash. So you're going to need an alternative to Fraps to capture those kind of games. You could also just capture your whole desktop and edit it, and crop it down, but it's not really frowned upon. It just doesn't look right because you're expanding out the original image, while The Binding of Isaac is intentionally made to that size of window. Again, that's all up to your personal preference. But Camtasia is fairly simple. It is an expensive program, mind you. It's like $300. I got this on sale, so I paid quite a bit less. But it's out there, and you can find it on sale. And Camtasia 8 is out now, and I actually tried the demo of that for a while. And if you have the chance and you have the money to pick up Camtasia 8 over 7, do it. It just streamlines everything to a degree which is ridiculous. It's just a whole mess of fun better. That made no sense, but it's a whole lot better, Camtasia 8 is compared to 7. But what Camtasia is known for is it's got its pretty basic generic editing system. You put a file in here, you can cut it, you can split it, you can do all that sort of thing, and it's fairly easy. It transitions, it's pretty simple with what it has. But its capture software, which I'm running now, is its main it's the meat of the program. That's what it is known for. And it's actually a fairly good capture program. People crap on it a lot, but I think it's actually a very, very good program. It could be better. Yes, it is, again, very, very simplistic because delete, pause, stop, and then there's actually just a record or choose dimension window in the options besides this when it's not recording. So it is fairly simple in its approach, but it just works. If you know what I mean. It does what it's meant to do, and it does a hell of a good job at it. So it's just it is what it is. But an example, Minecraft. Let's look at Minecraft real quick. Minecraft, I believe, is Java, which Fraps can capture. So if we open up Fraps here, log in, there you go. The number indicator right there, which I will flip around. You also have a hotkey for moving the number around. It will tell you how many frames you're capturing right now, or how many frames are being presented to you right now. So as you can see, mine's around 100. It jumps up to occasionally to 120, depending on what's going on. And it's also fairly low right now because I'm capturing the whole screen as a whole. But yeah, see, it's just very, very easy with Fraps to record. You're like, oh, I'm in a dungeon or whatever, and actually I'm in a cave. But you're in here, and it's just a matter of sitting down and capturing. So there you go. See, I'm capturing right now, and it's easy. It's fairly easy, and I believe it works with pretty much any other Steam game I can think of, except for, like I said, Binding of Isaac or those games that are Flash. Like it doesn't work with Binding of Isaac. It works with Amnesia, Audiosurf, Bastion. All these games you're pretty much going to have an okay time with. One game it might not work with, Terraria, I think it does work with. Oh, there's one I knew I had played recently and it didn't work. But basically, you get the point. It's Fraps. If you are looking to do that sort of capture, just straight PC game capture, Fraps is the way to go. When it comes to editing, I'd recommend Camtasia, like I said, because it's just easy and it's nice. But also, you do have Windows Live Movie Maker. Now, this is the version that is from the start is available on Windows 7. Now, I really like this program compared to the original, just Windows Movie Maker. And if you get the chance, go download this because it's actually a fairly decent program. It does pretty much what everything that Camtasia does, but just more simplified. It's not that incredibly complex. It's fairly easy. When you're logged in, you can let me just grab a file real quick just to have something in there. Videos, and I just captured. I think this is Skyrim or something. Yeah, this is Skyrim. But anyway, like it just does what it like.
My lord, please. This is
This can be really jumpy because I'm recording. There's a lot going on, but you can just upload to YouTube and this SkyDrive, Facebook. Like there's all these other options. Like YouTube is the main option, but then you also have save, and you can. There's a bunch of things to it. Caption, and I'm getting away from the main topic here. Game capture is not complicated. It's just a matter of being able to purchase items, is what I'm basically trying to say. So Fraps is the best thing out there. There's also other things, Screen Capture or something, I think is another program. But again, I don't know any of the other programs available. But Fraps is still the best. Again, if you have any other questions, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to give you an answer. And hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial thing. This is kind of a new thing for me. I've never done tutorials before, so be gentle. Yeah, but anyway, I've been Hello Japan. This has been tutorial time. I don't know what to call it. This has been Hello Japan's tutorials, and I will see you guys next time with maybe consoles. I don't know. We'll see. So, see you guys later.